Tip 6 is effective use of video. In terms of how to design the teaching materials to be used in educational video, there is expert guidance in the form of Richard E. Mayer's research. He has 12 principles. The first is coherence. People learn better when extraneous words, pictures and sounds are excluded rather than included. So remove unnecessary text, images and sounds. In particular, remove all branding and elements that are just clutter. Templated PowerPoint decks with university name, author and a copyright statement on every page are an egregious example of lack of coherence. Aim for elegant simplicity. 2. Signaling. People learn better when cues that highlight the organization of the essential material are added. This can be done by using annotation, simple animation, highlighting, and spotlight techniques to show focus to the student. A disembodied voice over static PowerPoint slides is not a compelling experience. Redundancy. People learn better from graphics and narration than from graphics, narration, and on-screen text. This can be an issue if your video displays subtitles automatically. This also means that you want to avoid creating content where you are literally reading off the screen. 4 is spatial contiguity. People learn better when corresponding words and pictures are presented near rather than far from each other on the page or screen. This is an area where the design of graphs and charts can be greatly improved. Look to reduce the use of separate legends and indexes in favor of direct labels. This helps reduce cognitive load. 5 is temporal contiguity. People learn better when corresponding words and pictures are presented simultaneously rather than successively. Here you can break processes down into component parts and use animations and transitions. Number 8 is segmenting. People learn better when a multimedia lesson is presented in user-paced segments rather than as a continuous unit. So worth noting here is the concept of incorporating articles with video that reinforce learning. However, the segmentation needs to match the expertise of the audience. Otherwise, you may fall foul of the expertise reversal effect, in which expert learners need less guidance than novice learners. Number 7 is pre-training. People learn better from a multimedia lesson when they know the names and characteristics of the main concepts. This might consist of a guide or glossary that students encounter before the video, or a contextual statement that outlines the purpose and learning objectives of the video. 8 is modality. People learn better from graphics and narration than from animation and on-screen text. Pictures and printed words can overload the visual system, but operating on verbal and visual channels simultaneously can lower this burden. 9 is personalization. People learn better from multimedia lessons where words are in conversational style rather than formal style. In online learning, social presence is a powerful mechanism to motivate students and to reduce feelings of disengagement. Similarly, a conversational style or talking will help convince the students that the educator is connecting to them as a real person. 10 is voice. People learn better when the narration in multimedia lessons is spoken in a friendly human voice rather than a machine voice. Hopefully, this goes without saying. 11 is embodiment. Students learn better when there is human gestures, eye contact and facial expressions. So non-verbal communication can add nuance. 12 is image. People do not necessarily learn better from a multimedia lesson when the speaker's image is added to the screen. A constant talking head can be a distraction from learning, particularly if the educator is displaying micro expressions of terror and distraction, because being on camera is, after all, a somewhat nerve-wracking ordeal for many. The process I typically suggest is for the educator to introduce the segment on camera as a means to personalize the video and to demonstrate social presence, but then to fade away as the learning material is shared. On camera, on a microphone, you want to be yourself, talking in a friendly way in which your passion for the subject matter and teaching is easily apparent. Practicing your script and delivery can help greatly, as does your physical position and posture. You want your diaphragm to be uncompressed and for you to be comfortable, which can be achieved by perching on a stool or standing. If filming yourself via a webcam, the camera should be at your eye level. In a studio, you would use the traditional 3-part lighting system with backlight, key light, fill light, and the presenter in the middle. At home, endeavour to place a soft light behind your webcam. Shorter videos are more likely to be watched by your students, so if possible, chunk videos into shorter segments. Avoid the temptation to number these chunks, as you may find it harder to reorganize content in the future. The quality of your audio is something that is sometimes ignored, but greatly impacts how video is perceived. A decent microphone, properly positioned with pop filter, is key. Record in a quiet location where you will not be disturbed, with your smartphone switched off and colleagues, family members and pets safely out of the way. Carpets and fabric wall hangings can reduce the background echo, which otherwise could make your voice sound harsh and constrained. But realize that there is a vast library of video content out there. You can leverage existing content from LinkedIn Learning, publishers' materials, YouTube, or Creative Commons. Additionally, video may be a superior method to provide assessment feedback to your students.